Hi girls, this is your Girl Scout leader Heather, and I am going to be taking you on a virtual tour of my parents' garden, so Violet's grandparents' garden, and this is going to be for earning your garden badge. And one of the steps for earning the garden badge is learning about garden design. So my parents have a very large and beautiful garden full of flowers and fruits and vegetables. So I thought it would be great for you to have a virtual tour of their garden to get some ideas about garden design. So I'm going to start taking you through their garden to see the different plants they have and the setup. And then I'll talk about or point out some of the plants that they have and what they do. So usually in the summertime, they'll have these whiskey barrels full of different flowers. They just haven't put them in yet because it's a little early for that. And so some of the things are in bloom right now, some of them are not. So you're not going to see color on every plant or bush, just some of them at the moment. But as you can see, they have different fun little setups of different props throughout their garden as well. Different chimes or different decorations. This flower is brown right now, and it actually gets its color in September. Sorry, I don't know all the names of the plants because I'm not as familiar with them as my parents are. So up here, if you see these like sideways pots, my mom calls these her tipsy pots, and in the summertime she has flowers in them, so it looks really pretty with all the flowers in them and the sideways design with the birdhouse on top. And so up here this summer, this is going to be where they have their tomato plants. All these stakes, these brown stakes, are where they plant the tomatoes, and the vines wrap around the stakes. All right, just another little garden, different garden setup with more decorations, kind of props. All right. Then she does have flowers in her window boxes. So she has window boxes all along the porch. Oh, there she is. Say hi, Nana. Oh, and she also does hanging plants. She has a few. Actually, she has them all. Hanging down from the top of the porch are her hanging plants. Looks very pretty. All right, we're going to the back of the yard. So up here, they call it their prairie, where they have all sorts of like little walking paths with different plants, trees, like little pine tree type plants. They like trees. So this is always fun to walk through, especially in the summer when there's more color. I wish there was more color now, but it's early in the season. Well, there's a plant with color. Oh, and then there's these flowers. And then some more trees. When I was a kid, this used to just be all huge trees, basically woods, and there was nothing fun back here. Now, over the past couple years, they made this little fun setup with these different plants. So this is nice, a nice part of their garden now. Okay, now we'll go towards the back of the garden. So these are some of their plants that just need shade. So as you notice, it's in more of a shady area of the yard. This big bush right here is not in bloom fully yet, but it's called a rhododendron. And this has gotten very big over the past several years. It used to be much smaller at one point. Here's a colorful bush. It's pretty much already went by. Some bushes get their flower color in May or like April. So this one's already past its time. That's why it looks more wilted now. Some more shaded plants. All right, now we're gonna come to their herb garden. So they have this section right here just dedicated to different herbs. So as you can see, they have all the different herbs lists with a little stake with their name on it. Lamb's ears. I've never even heard of that herb, but it is one. But they have oregano, and then they have some lavender. So these are things that you can use for cooking to add flavor. Lemon balm. They have chives, sage. Some of these you might have heard of. Oh, and this isn't an herb, but you've seen these already. It's a plant called a bleeding heart. So the flowers look like little hearts almost that are dangling down. They have lots of these throughout their garden. And she has a nice little sign labeling it Linda's Herbs. It's cute. All right, and here is the vegetable garden that my father takes care of. This is his pride and joy. So it's some of the stuff's not fully grown because it's early still, but they have all different vegetable beds for all the different vegetables. So right now, because it's early, in the earlier parts of the season, lettuce grows. So back here they have lettuce. So here's all their lettuce in different greens. Some different greens that will grow much bigger as the spring goes on and we get into summer. Right here, this bed right here will be asparagus. So those are asparagus plants. And then they have, right here will be cabbage, and then broccoli. I'm not sure what this will be at the moment. They did not tell me that. All right. So that's the vegetable garden. They have it all fenced off so the animals don't get in, like those bunny rabbits that like to eat vegetables, like Peter Rabbit. Okay, and then right here, oh, there's another edible, I think it's a fruit here called rhubarb. So they have these are rhubarb plants. They can be very bitter, so most people use rhubarb to make a dessert, like rhubarb pie or like a rhubarb crisp, things like that. When you add sugar to it, it tastes very good. And then they have, see all these bleeding hearts? They have so many, even more. And back there, these bushes will be raspberries. And then over here, these bushes, they just have flowers right now, as you can see, but these are going to be blueberry bushes. So they get lots of blueberries, lots of raspberries. Oh, and actually in the vegetable garden, they told me are going to be strawberry plants as well. I forgot to point that out. So not just flowers, they have all sorts of things you can, eat from their garden or use in cooking. More bleeding hearts. Oh, and then there's more bleeding hearts over here. Like I said, they are loaded. So they just have their bleeding hearts scattered throughout. See, there's more right here. All right, and then right here are all different trees, baby trees, that are gonna grow into much bigger trees. They're usually like assorted pine trees, basically. Sometimes they give them to us and we put them in our garden. But my parents buy a bunch of these because some of them don't survive. So they buy a whole bunch to make sure they get a good amount that do survive. So that's why you see so many of them. Lots of little baby trees. And then more bleeding hearts. Like I said, they got a lot. And again, more. And these bushes are in bloom and they look very beautiful. So this is their time, their peak time for these bushes to be in bloom. And then one other thing, and here's this really pretty tree they have right over their water fountain pond. They don't have it running yet, they just haven't got to that, but it has a waterfall, so in the summertime, the waterfall comes down and there's often frogs that hang out by this little pond that they made. So that is their garden. Isn't it very beautiful? So that's just to give you all an idea of how you can design your garden, how you can set it up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye, girls.